Have you ever wondered what are the numbers behind freelance? Do all freelancers enjoy their work? What is the average salary on freelance? And what forces people to quit their office job and begin the online career? These are some stats on freelance that are really going to surprise you. Did you know that on average, freelancers in the US earn more than 70% of professionals? Pretty impressive, huh? To be honest, I would have never even assumed this. At least in Europe, most of the times freelance is considered as something that can bring you good extra earnings, but rarely more than that. It's also a common assumption that freelancers are simply a cheap workforce for big companies. While this might be true because of the wage gap and the cost of living in different countries, this fact clearly shows that under the same conditions, freelancers can earn much more than a lot of traditional workers. Have you ever thought about what is the gender distribution on freelance? Of course, working on Fiverr myself, I noticed that on the gigs' thumbnails you can see men more often than women. But I never would have thought that there is such a huge difference. Statistically, on a global scale, 77% of freelancers are men and 23 women. Can you imagine? The number of men on freelance is more than 3 times bigger. So, all the girls out there, we're pretty much rare creatures here. Exceptions to the rule. Maybe we should use it somehow and position ourselves based on this? Let's think about it. And guys, you definitely need to come up with a way to stand out. A very random fact, but according to some studies, 7 out of every 10 freelancers prefer living away from the big city. When you think about it, it actually kind of makes sense. Here is the reason why. The largest age group among freelancers accounts for people from 25 to 34 years old. This is the age when most of us tend to settle down, get married, and have children. And usually, when you have a choice, you want to raise your kids away from the polluted and criminal cities, which big cities usually are, and somewhere where the air is fresh and the life is calm. So this observation makes sense, but I thought that it's still interesting. If we continue talking about the age of freelancers, 53% of Generation Z chooses the freelancing route nowadays. When I first read it, I was a bit shocked, because this is the majority, guys. But then when I started thinking about it more, I realized that I myself and a lot of my friends fall into this category. And even just from my own experience, I can say that I see a lot of young people choosing becoming a freelancer, or at least trying to work this way for a couple of years. Oh, actually, let me know in the comments whether you're one of us. Let's see if it is the majority under this video as well. Now, this fact really caught me by surprise. One study suggests that freelancers in general tend to be more politically active than non-freelancers. 51% of full-time freelancers participate in political activities, compared to only 33% of full-time traditional employees. Quite interesting, right? To be honest, here I couldn't even come up with an explanation. Why? Do you personally have any ideas? Anyway, the fact remains. In the source where I found this information, they also mentioned that 72% of freelancers said they'd be willing to cross party lines to vote for a candidate that supports freelancer interests. This indicates how strongly freelancers feel and suggests they would be more vocal around these issues. Have you ever thought if freelancers are less educated than traditional full-time workers? Well, turns out that at least in the United States, 40% of freelancers are more educated than the average worker. 40%. What is happening with the other 60% is unclear. Are 60% less educated, or are they at the same level? We can only guess. But the fact that 40% of freelancers have more education than traditional employees breaks some stereotypes for sure. Okay, now... Show me the money! So, what about the average hourly rate of freelancers? Across 170 countries, it was $19 per hour. This is the average. If we talk about how much the majority makes, it will be from $6 to $10 an hour. As you can see, the majority of global freelancers, 57% to be specific, make less than $15 per hour, and only 14% make more than $30 per hour. Of course, these rates vary wildly depending on the factors such as home country, native language, area of expertise, and experience level. It's important to note that those with the right skills and experience are likely to make well over the global average of around $19 per hour. At this point, I myself make around $45 per hour on the platform called Fiverr, and I can say for sure that it takes a lot of knowledge and experience to get there. If you want to know more about my work and get some tips for your freelance business, you can click on this playlist. I'm pretty sure you'll find something for yourself there. But before you do so, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you for watching, and I hope to talk to you soon. Пока-пока!